Hey guys, so we're gonna continue off with no cussing at all in this podcast because that's what we're gonna do in case I don't get hit another with community guidelines and whatnot. And we're not gonna continue off with the like, comment, subscribe BS. So let's continue. I said let's continue, guys. Come on now. Chapter 3, July 1st, Saturday. Oh my god, why do I not feel so good? Saturday. Miss McGee accepted my apology last night, but she's still not sure how about my meds have been affecting my treatment. First off, everyone, like everywhere I go, isn't agreeing about me refusing my medication since 6 to 7 days prior before I became an unstable after refusal began. Now Mr. Franklin's been tripping just because I'm getting a stupid IR for an absolute bullcrap. In this world, we're going to be stuck inside obstacles 24/7, no matter what the cost may contain overall. I find it hard to believe these nurses could choose life choices as a big sacrifice towards real-world baloney. Nevertheless, sir, I pray or chance those games being easier for most facts pointed upwards. Ever since Mom got rid of me over her petty old boyfriend named Joy, she's thanked how or why my behavior gets worse, although she's barely been answering the calls I would like being answered at a right moment to tell you guys an honest perspective. Why she gotta waste her precious daily schedule almost every single day or place I try being to work on change here in Mohican Youngstar Academy. Maybe it's because I acted out around serious periods Mom or someone always thought was correct, or is it false? Mom's never right about false move medication ever. While locked up on those traumatizing events sparked me fiercely. Has Mom ever realized what a terrible mistake she'll witness every time I take a horrible color pills? Yeah, thanks to those terrible doctors running how it feels to become worthy somehow. My father tries exactly what anyone may or may not figure out by now, but for more than a straight decade somehow, he's still only acting extra gruesome, as a even more factual spectacular telling otherwise. Besides past history, I hate agreeing with Mr. Franklin's power being used against mine. He's basically saying that if you don't take medication, you cannot work in treatment. Except how is it fair for me to be trapped inside a residential facility till old age? The frick? Another problem with Mr. Franklin's bizarre choice of words is that Miss Mac doesn't really even like him as her boss. John's explained is short and sweet, and from where I can tell, Miss Mac's technically my boss and she's my group leader, unlike Mr. Franklin, who isn't got crap for playing mind games. Plus, Miss Mag knows I'll do better without it, which reveals why I'm getting a fourth and final chance and also may earn my week from proving myself worthy, I kid you not. So if another obstacle does come by later, I'll fight for what I know may be true. Pretty much getting my purse back was super quicker at a actual ugly turns, beats a milestone run as I progress Mohican's ways almost further than flames flying across midair. Hey, recently Canada was in flames themselves, but earlier either 1 or 2 weeks prior in return, Canada came smoking fog at high grounds when their country came flowing at hours, and containing toxic symptoms such as little micro pebbles known as cause for cancer sickness. When John first told me about this, I was totally freaking cold ice. New York City, John also explained, got it for worse, and I heard him saying that if you do not wear a mask before you can even try coming outside right back then, you'll get totally messed with those micro flames hitting point guard. Yesterday, Canada's fog switched away, thankfully, so at least we don't got us to worry about it. Unless this happens again, I kinda doubt it's gonna come back to bite us anytime we're forced to fight toxic waste once more. Better said than done, Miss McGee, I've noticed, be tripping every time I talk, real quiet every time she's on A shift. They've moved Miss Teeters away from the Mustangs night shift after Miss McGee returned from being on vacation in Cape Cod, Massachusetts, while also hanging around Great Lafarge Act. I'm glad she's bound to be working with us again. Yet see, here's my issue with that. Miss McGee doesn't understand what attitude is doing purposely, almost constantly night through, rise and grind. Whenever I'm still or laying in bed chilling, I usually hum until I fall asleep, as I'd be proving why copying within range could be a huge problem. Miss McGee becomes the prime example for little unnecessary issues we Mustangs have issues with. When an informal group happened earlier this morning, me and others inside the Mustangs group put best terms for Miss Mac to fully take bit into large specs of those visual honest truths. Miss Mac was totally convinced, so she said, I'll talk to Miss McGee about it. If there's been one thing that I learned from these peers, it's probably mainly about which peer needs extra support net like Chris. And I'm not even joking either. Lately, Chris is going through an urgent crisis right here, mostly there. All things for little problems Chris deals with outside of here. His grandma might lose custody of him, and Child Protective Services tells otherwise. Chris revealed this about almost a month ago during Boundaries situation Alex caused. Alex was far gone off hill. When he showed Chris his pants, he accidentally pooped inside of his underwear. Alex explained he got off the go-kart track when out of nowhere he boomed at such a raw time and place that he hided his awful experience, if you know what I intentionally mean. Sorry, I didn't try being a straight, stupid idiot if I asked the infield employee on where the frick was the closest restroom, if Alex knew where to go during and before showing off your nasty looking boxers or whatever. Chris got dropped from learning phase 3 to learning phase bottom 0. It's honestly even much more worse if Chris doesn't do the right thing on how figuring out by then he'll be able to express his disgust earlier, which could have been addressed for his trusted staff insight. Skylar's about ready for his Reds graduation shirt this upcoming Monday. In less than 2 weeks, John's about ready for a graduation phase 2. John's come a long way since he first entered into our Mustang's life. That, in fact, yet super surprisingly, John's one of those rare peers, as many other people would have discovered highly so far. John really don't know how to stop earning weeks. He's completely in there like butter. John's nickname I gave him since learning 5 or 6, he's titled as a Butter Boy. Then after I tried coming up with a name myself, me and John thought about it, and it's been titled Peanut Butter Boy. So when Dianco, including the new Braden, came into our group, named Braden T, Dianco's been giving recently Woodley Butter, and Braden's random one made sense later on, nicknamed Buttermilk. I know, sounds stupid as heck, right? Well, he's in there like milk, since he's technically blasting through his weeks too. All is confirmed. While I end a third chapter, many's perspective will disagree constantly, while more chapters are set edge forthcoming. Now I will continue on with chapter 4 because that was really short, to be honest. Chapter 4, Sunday. Today was a decent day, or am I tripping? That's a question I ask almost 24/7, being sliced in 16 parts turned into an hour. There isn't much point taken from a guy who's been where since April the 13th of this year, who's still be struggling with a tall wad named Christopher F, aka Chris himself. So while I sat inside the theater watching a last year's Happy Madison film titled Home Team, I could have enjoyed his fine grants of comedy till Mr. Franklin decides, "Okay, fellas, it's now 7:50 p.m. We should be able to go back in rooms, do hygiene, lights out." First of all, couldn't you not have changed his fate being trapped on pause, and instead just let us watch these last 15 minutes, spreading joy and excitement on a nice epic note, rather denying or delaying our bedtime around summer vacation freedom, having actual advantage to Mohican's next best move, honestly speaking? Nope, not even a little. I'm starting on the fact where supervisors are extra needle in the haystack, sadly enough for Miss Max. Sorry about that if I called her Mr. My bad. I'm just tired right now. Disapproval being squashed. I cannot stand how annoying we became whenever there's petty supervisors everywhere. It's exactly a no-brainer on Mr. Cuplip's end. Now, don't get me fixed on his job, but he's sort of too strict on stuff that's nothing less or more than telling facts constantly. And also, Mr. Cuplip's basically a simple, non-stop cap day that'll bite you, or cop day, or cop dog, that'll bite yourself way past Radar's refugee top notch. Literally, I sat watching Creed 3 until after Desmond picked DC's The Titans, even though it was potentially a absolute no sexuality and less cussing nor profanity. As usual, Mr. Cutler tuned The Titans down. Thanks so much for this show's first episode as a thumbs up. I really liked how Dark is True potential truly is worth watching. If I'd not be mistaken, Mr. Cutlip just, technically ruins piece of a Master Jedi totally getting hammered down while enjoying the perfection first ever good Max original or bought either which. A lot of things, though, happened before I got my journal back, and it sucks. I got my journal back as usual, though, so we can't even trip about that. Except racing on a go-kart track gets greasy pretty surely. When putting my best fit in which cart I should go off, still then give. A wise man once said, "Take it or leave it." And taking the Lightning McQueen once stole me a great spotlight front left ready to go. As I began racing once X marks the spot, we've all raced our best around those circles, or through the circles, my bad if I coughed right there, or echoed, or whatnot. Our better abilities at such maximum effort. Now you see what I have been doing in this case scenario. scenario is by fighting against unexpected twists and turns, all witnessing the branded tribe known as Diamre's Purple and Gold Stake or sleek model engine. At one point, I didn't know if you were supposed on bumping into each other, such and such. Yet later, knowing you weren't able on racing aggressively freestyle by bumping over and over again is why I'm glad learning a mistake isn't hard. Truthfully pointed then. The second race, I chance pops into my head, bringing backlashes from another go-kart taking place from my fun center in Redding, California. At this very extent, I please those fond memories. Why did I stutter? Back when me and Haley raced 1v1 at the time, totally cursed a horrible mind I cried for, dreadfully wanting mom to record me on the last ride being produced. Now times have changed and it's been almost 2 years after that happened. When I got stuck in foster care around when mom chose her big old boyfriend of her over her own son, I ignored mom a lot on calls raining at wrong problems. One foster home I can visualize inside myself was Summer Golski's house. She seemed fine, didn't act tough, pushing what a true family really is. Luckily, I was free fillet at a Camp Hope reunion inside the Fun Center building. It took place around after I met Nina during summer 2021 from Camp Hope's headquarters to this planned get-to-get. This may have been the actual last time me and Nina saw face-to-face, because racing on go-karts felt off, you know? Although telling what's real and what's not, Nina's never answered my calls due from my arrival at Dad's house. She still kept on picking a battle from her dark secret she's never explained ever. So though last night I heard Nina's final words, totally spooked me something personally. Really, I would keep telling you guys Nina's plot twist more in a chapter 4's written behavior, except revealing more ruins why I even made Secret Agenda exist, honestly and truly speaking calmly. Anyways, later around Infield's pizza being served, I gotta admit, who's ever created best tasting pizza since Roosters or Buffalo Wild Wings, I shall clarify why Infield's buffalo sauce stuff mixed with really buffalo chicken totally melts into a hungry human known to hot lovers. I love flaming hot chips, especially those puffs and Chester's fries variations. Almost most of their soda got taken up real smooth when drinking Starry, which comes as no surprise as to why it's better than Sprite. Totally confirm my opinions are opinions. Infield did dirty for sure. Now, I know it's going to be crazy to do a third chapter, but I'm announcing it. We're doing a third chapter, so there you go. And this might be a little bit longer than you thought, but anyways, Chapter 5, Monday. Well, it looks like I didn't get to earn my week. I'll be 100% honest. Yeah, no way was Mr. Gooseby allowing myself free at last's core, having total advantage against being restrained from Miss Mac's arrival on campus. Mr. Gooseby wouldn't barge front and back, whenever faking it till you make it doesn't become free for charge, intentionally speaking. But yippee, Skylar now has turned to an actual graduation, some towards when Diambre earned his action phase. Johan's still a week away on earning grad too, especially while booming week after week, no doubt about it. John's even put his future red shirt on top, hitting like a vein that's been sitting there long enough. John lets himself feel motivated a lot. As for Chris, he's doing extra. I know I've mentioned only a small fraction back in book 4's or chapter 4's. Why did I say book 4? I shouldn't really have spoiled that, but I guess book 4 is coming soon. I don't want to keep saying it. Alex accident crash. It has gotten Chris nowhere. A little while after, I'm still not sure if Chris really means acting stubborn or becoming a complete complainer or whatever. But he'll understand why I've come and go since then. Around when we start lining up to get ready to take showers, Desmond brings up his stake on getting all his weeks done with, and I told everybody that I'm gonna do it the right thing over inside treatment. Chris comments, action phasers speak louder than words, making total pushback as somebody who's been creating sacrifices around a milestone. And he's still disbelieving my calls, my bad. And also, just like, this chapter is actually the shortest chapter of them all, so we're going to finish this off like that. Thanks a lot. Yet I don't need nothing from my Christopher F., who's tried on putting sidelines since coming inside this facility is a perfect example towards turning up at yourself being negative Nancy, Captain Smartbutt. I totally have myself rudely bothered since Chris thinks he's slick at Tom Cruise's self overboard through Mission Impossible's nonstop. Oh, yeah, that's how much time it is. I was just checking the time, guys, just to see how much time this video is going to go by. And I don't know why I said time 3 times or 2 times, but Now I said it 5, so yeah. So leading to higher face territory wasn't bad luck, while I self am fascinated on Chris's Worthy agenda. When asking Skylar simple true factors to truthful explained radically, Chris tries interjecting as he's done thousands of times before. So, does anybody have clues whenever someone really goes ahead and dogs you out? Because surely stupid nor what we're fighting over. Mainly, can realities clashing together? Nope. This chapter may be short and sweet, except realizing his past midnight takes things far on me. If you enjoyed today's podcast / audiobook, all that I ask you to do is hit that subscribe button, because it's really important if you do so. And there's also only a 2% of y'all who have subscribed to my channel. So do so we can make it to 800 subs this time. That's the new goal. And possibly the 1,000 subs, which is way too far in the future, to be honest, because nobody subscribes, which is why we gotta make it to 2% out of 4% more. So, peace out and bye.